Under oath, Ms. Clinton made these three comments that we now know are untrue in the Benghazi hearing. Number one, she's turned over all her work-related emails. Number two, telling the committee that her attorneys went through every single email. And then finally, and probably the one that continues to stick the most, there was, and I quote, "nothing marked classified on my emails," end quote. Now, earlier, when the chairman questioned you about this, you said something about needing a congressional referral recommendation. My question is, something of this magnitude, why, or can you help me understand why didn't it rise to your investigation or someone bringing that to your knowledge as far as saying this is a problem, here she is, again, the Secretary Clinton lying under oath, specifically about our investigation? Lying under oath is a crime, is it not?
Yes.
And what's the penalty on that? That's considered perjury, right?
Perjury. It's a felony. I forget the exact. It's potentially years in prison.
Jake Sullivan says, they say they had issues sending secure fax. They're working on it. Hillary Clinton sends to Jake Sullivan, if they can't, turn into non-paper with no identifying heading and send non-secure. So you're telling me it's a classified piece of information, she's taking off the header, and she's instructing them to send it in a non-secure format. Is that not intent?
Is what she meant by that is make it into a non-classified document. That's what a non-paper is in their world, and send it to us, because I don't need the classified stuff, I just need the...
Then why take off the heading? If it's going to be turned into a non-classified document, why take off the heading?
Take the header off, turn it into a non-paper, which is a term I never heard before, but I'm told by people I credit that in diplomatic circles that means something we can pass to another government.
Chinese cyber spies gained access to the designs for dozens of major U.S. weapons systems.
Did you look at the Clinton Foundation?
I'm not going to comment on the existence or non-existence of any other investigations.
Was the Clinton Foundation tied into this investigation?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that.
Director Comey, Secretary Clinton is certainly not the only Secretary of State to use a personal email account with information later identified as being classified.
Shit just got real.
I just want to show you, this is a book that was written by former Secretary of State Colin Powell, and in his book, he says, to complement the official State Department computer in my office, I installed a laptop computer and on a private line. My personal email account on the laptop allowed me to direct access to anyone online. So I started shooting emails to my principal assistants, to individual ambassadors, and increasingly to my foreign minister colleagues who, like me, were trying to bring their ministries into the 186,000 miles per second world. Were you aware of this, that Secretary Colin Powell actually had a private server as well?
Not a private server. I think he used a commercial email account for State Department business.
Private line, unprotected.
Correct. Not a State Department email system.
Right,
Yep.
right. He went rogue, so to speak.
Thank you so much for everything, Colin.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Do you think this was careless for him to do that, to start, get his own, he got his own system. He installed a laptop computer on a private line. My personal email account was on a laptop and allowed me direct access to anyone online. That's his own statement. I'm just trying to compare secretaries of state, because Secretary Powell's never been here. Matter of fact, when we asked him for his emails, unlike the 55,000 that we received from Secretary Clinton, he said, "I don't have any to turn over." This is a quote. This was on ABC's This Week. He explained, "I don't have any to turn over. I didn't keep a cache of them. I did not print them off. I do not have thousands of pages somewhere in my personal files." But he was Secretary of State, and he operated on a private system. Were you aware of that?
Not at the time, 15 years ago, but
This is Building 7, a 47-story skyscraper that fell on the afternoon of September 11th.
The government says that fire brought it down. However, 1,500 architects and engineers concluded it was a controlled demolition.
Were you aware of that?
not at the time, 15 years ago, but I am now.
Yeah. Okay. So recently, well, back in October 2015, the State Department sent Secretary Powell a letter requesting that he contact his email provider, AOL, to determine whether any of his emails are still on the unclassified systems. Are you aware of that ongoing investigation?
I don't know of an investigation. I am.
Well, that request for information from Secretary Powell, former Secretary.
Yes, I am.
So in a case like this, if it's not going to be criminal charges recommended, what are the American people to do to hold their officials accountable? And I think that the American people demand a consequence, that they demand an accountability.